Alrighty then. Hello there, everybody. Greetings, and hope you're all having a good time. Greetings, one and all. Forge gang, I'm still a hard man. There we go, that's the intro. It is the end of the day. And I just don't give a shit. Number one thing, I don't care and I don't give a shit, and why should you? With snake oil salesmen. So anyways, I just wanted to say that do not let these kind of people fool you. And don't let them tell you what you should believe in or what religion that you should follow or how you should pray to any particular god or any of those things. So, don't listen to these people. They're con artists and they are snake oil salesmen. One and all. Every single one of them. They're snake oil salesmen. Now, if you don't watch a lot of Westerns, unless you watch a lot of Westerns, then you probably will not understand what I'm going to be getting into. So, in the Wild West, there were these snake oil salesmen. There were these people, they were called snake oil salesmen. They were kind of like merchants, they were like merchants. And they would come into town in their stagecoaches and they would sell you these bottles of snake oil. And they would promise you that it would cure absolutely anything and everything. It doesn't matter what kind of an ailment you had. If you bought, let's say you paid, 30 cents, maybe $1.50 for a bottle full of snake oil, and they claim that it would cure your cold. It could cure the common cold, it could cure cancer, or it could cure bronchitis or anything. A lot of people smoked in the day. And a lot of people had all sorts of ailments and sicknesses. They were kind of like witch doctors, but in the Wild West, they were just snake oil salesmen. And these guys were pretty witty and pretty wily. They were pretty wily individuals, and they basically would sell these bottles full of snake oil. Then they claimed that it would cure anything. Well, that is what Rick Perry, Drake Alden, Shelton, Dyer, and Jeem are. They're snake oil salesmen. They're not even good Catholics or Orthodox or Protestants. And that's the funny thing about these individuals, whether they claim to be Protestant or Catholic or Orthodox, they're not even good religious people themselves. They're not clerics, they're not monks, they're not holding monastic vows, they're not preachers or anything. They're just grifters. Dyer, Drake Shelton, Rick Perry, and Jeem are just grifters, okay? They're not even priests or clerics or nothing, they're grifters. Rick Perry in this chat is a grifter, dude. He just seeks attention and he's a clout chaser and a grifter. He doesn't care about Catholicism. Jeem doesn't care about orthodoxy. You can just see it by the demeanor of how he presents himself in his streams. Jeem Apologetics just wants to be another Dyer, and he's just grifting off of orthodoxy. Rick Perry and Reformed Stoic grift off of Roman Catholicism. Okay? They're just grifting off of religion, okay? And Southern Israelite is just grifting off of Protestantism. It's BS. It's complete nonsense. They're not religious people. You make money selling pornography on Instagram, Rick Perry, so that's a lie. You broke the 10 Commandments. You're bearing false witness against your neighbors, Rick Perry. You're committing sin by lying that you don't make money. You make money selling pornography on Instagram. Okay, so these guys are just a bunch of grifters, and they're immoral as hell. Jay Dyer, on multiple occasions, has said that the filioque doctrine can coexist with orthodoxy. Any serious Orthodox person you talk to will tell you that the light or the energies proceed from the Father through the Son and not from both the Father and the Son. Okay? That is just the nonsense of it, ad nauseum. There was even a time when Jay Dyer denied the Trinity. In 2010, Jay Dyer was getting into the Kabbalah. Jay Dyer wrote an entire article of how he was getting into Kabbalah, into perennial Neoplatonism, Kabbalah, and he denied the Trinity. Jay Dyer doesn't even hold to the doctrines of his own religion. He's just a grifter. The only purpose that Jay Dyer is on the internet for is to make money. He's making money and he's ripping people off and selling them snake oil. That's exactly what he's up to. Now, when it comes to the Southern Israelite, when it comes to Drake Shelton, he's another grifter. Yeah, that's right, Niccolo. Jay Dyer denies the involvement of the Jews. He denies the JQ. There you go, right there. Jay Dyer denies the JQ question. When it comes to Drake Shelton, he's even more of a Pharisaic, absolute hypocrite of a man. Drake Shelton has said for years that he's married and has a kid. He's never shown his wife once. He showed like the picture of some baby, but that could be anybody's baby. Who's to say that he's actually married or has a kid? Another baked Alaska wannabe fucking grifter. Okay, Southern Israelite or Drake Alden Shelton is another would-be fucking grifter. And he's just selling snake oil to the masses. Southern Israelite has actually multiple times not been consistent on his platform. He comes up with this thing called sympathetic magic. Sympathetic magic and stuff. It's weird. It's just kind of a weird cope. It's basically Drake's answer for how he is unable to address Christian metaphysics or whatever. He doesn't believe in metaphysics or something, and he doesn't actually uphold the Trinity or not or whatnot. And what's so crazy about Southern Israelite, he's not even a Protestant. He doesn't believe in any of the tenets of Protestantism, yet here he is making all these videos, being conspicuously or copiously online for hours and hours, ranting out his hatred to Catholics, his hatred for Roman Catholics and for Orthodox and even other Protestants, and ranting about how the Baptist Church is somehow not Protestant when it clearly is. And oh my goodness, man. And he doesn't even believe half the stuff that Martin Luther and John Calvin believed in. So Drake Shelton's a grifter. Oh yeah, Drake actually changed his position on preterism. Drake used to be very much anti-preterist and a dispensationalist, a premillennial dispensationalist, and he changed his views on that. Now he's a partial preterist. He also used to be a full Arian, and now he's only semi-Arian. So those are some examples of how he changed his position. He also thinks that if you eat animal poop, it'll cure cancer. Isn't that like the full definition of a snake oil salesman? Like, that guy is a grifter. That guy is a grifter and a snake oil salesman. And he's just selling you nonsense. Like, he will not address the JQ whatsoever, just like Dyer, a snake oil salesman. And then you have Jeem Apologetics. You got Jeem, and this guy is an Arab from Chicago or something, or he lives in Chicago. Half of his family is from Syria, and the other half of his family is from Egypt. And he's come out of the wood chipper, and he's talking about how the Old Testament actually is Jewish, and he talks about Moses and the Sinai covenant and how it relates to the Orthodox Church, and it's completely different from what Orthodox clerics would say. Everything that Dyer and Jeem have ever said, 100%, will be completely contrasted by everything that an Orthodox cleric would say, or an Orthodox monk would say. I know. I have heard these true Orthodox and old calendarists, and I have read Vladimir Moss. I have read lots of Vladimir Moss, and I know what I'm talking about. You can ask Archbishop Gregory of Colorado, Denver, Colorado. He's the Archbishop. He runs GOC of America. It is GOC of America. And he will tell you that Jeem is not Orthodox. He will tell you out of his own mouth that Dyer is not Orthodox. He will tell you that they're just internet grifters, liars, and snake oil salesmen, and complete, absolute, scandalous liars. One and all, 100%. I will pay you $50 if they say they are Orthodox. I promise you. If Archbishop Gregory of Denver, Colorado, who runs the GOC of America, say that Dyer and Jeem are Orthodox, I will pay you $50 out of my own pocket on PayPal. If they say that they are Orthodox, I swear I will pay you $50 out of my own pocket if they say that they're Orthodox, because I am that convinced that they will tell you out of their own mouths that they are not Orthodox, that they are just grifters like Baked Alaska and total absolute scandalous fakes. Now, going on to Rick Perry. Rick Perry, I have observed Rick Perry since 2020. I have actually known about Rick Perry a lot longer than a lot of you guys. And I have had the opportunity to talk and chat with him and text with him. And I can tell you with absolute certainty that he is not a Roman Catholic. Another thing, too, as well, I think that he has lied about leaving Freemasonry. I think that he is still a Freemason. Rick Perry said that in 2008 he left irregular Freemasonry. He never said anything about leaving regular Freemasonry. And if you know anything about the history of Catholicism and Freemasonry, you would probably know that there is a ban. The Pope made a personal ban on Freemasons joining the Catholic Church or going to Mass between 1739 and 1983. From 1738 to 1983, that is when John Paul II was Pope, there is a formal ban on Freemasonry. In fact, in 1929, when the Lateran Pact with the Vatican City was made, there was an ambassador of Italy that went to the Vatican, and the Pope refused him because he was a Freemason. The Pope would only have a non-Freemason from Italy as an ambassador to the pontificate to come to sign the Lateran Pact of 1929. That is a fact. Rick Perry will deny that flat out of his mind. Rick Perry will deny that, but that is still a historical and theological fact. It is a fact that from 1738 to 1983, there was a ban on Freemasons joining the Catholic Church. Rick Perry has denied time and time again that he never left regular Freemasonry. He did say that he left irregular Freemasonry, but not regular Freemasonry. So he's still a Freemason. He is a liar, and he's a scandalous liar. I've seen it time and time again. And here he is in my chat, complaining about a freaking typo. Ghost of Niccolo was in the chat when Rick Perry misspelled two quoque fallacy. He put an H instead of a Q before the E at the last letter. The second time he said it, he got it right, but the first time he misspelled it. Now, it wasn't too bad of a misspelling, it was just a typo. And then he had the nerve to accuse me of not giving a citation because of a stupid fucking random typo. Who am I to keep up with everything that people say in the chat? That is just absurd. That is an absurd thing. But Ghost of Niccolo was there, and he knows, okay? I don't need a troon. I don't need a troon to tell me anything about theology. And then he has made a scandalous, slanderous assertion against me, saying that I don't know anything about metaphysics. Okay, I know exactly what metaphysics are, sir. I don't think that you understand the difference between the pagan and the Christian view on metaphysics. You seem to think that Kant's view on metaphysics is the same as at the ecumenical councils, even though Immanuel Kant was a Protestant Christian. It is very obvious that Immanuel Kant and most of the German idealist views on metaphysics and those of John Locke were quite different from the ecumenical council's definition of metaphysics. Okay, I'm not jumping through hoops, buddy. I'm not your fucking lolcow. I'm not going to be jumping through the lolcow hoops. Okay, I'm not your lolcow, Rick Perry. I'm not jumping through your little silly hoops and your little fallacious citation nonsense, okay? This isn't your show. This is my show. You're a guest in my chat. This is my show. I run it, and I'll tell you how things go, buddy. I run this channel. You don't. I'm not your lolcow. I'm not going to be jumping through hoops so that you could laugh and chuckle as you drink and sip some beer or some coffee, buddy. That's not how it works, okay? You're a lying, twisted, two-faced, scandalous snake oil salesman. You're just like the snake oil salesman in the old Wild West who would sell snake oil bottles, bottle after bottle, 50 cents a bottle for fake venom snake oil, saying that, oh, this will cure everything. You're just like that guy on that cartoon from 1948, Make My Freedom, where he sells a bunch of isms. Dr. Utopia, where he sells utopian isms, promises the labor that all the problems will be cured, all the problems will go away, and it actually makes things worse. It increases the power and the dictates of the state over the people, and it enslaves the masses and turns them into servants of the state. That is from Make Mine Freedom. Okay? Dude, these people are snake oil salesmen. I can finally see it, okay? Why would you show your butt on a picture of the Sistine Chapel? The Sistine Chapel. Why are you showing your naked butt on a picture over the Sistine Chapel? What kind of a devout traditional Catholic would actually do something like that, much less actually think that that is not a sinful or an impolite thing to do? That is absolutely scandalous. And yet you actually wonder why the Cistercian order wouldn't let you back in. Oh wow, I could only wonder. I could only wonder why the Cistercian order wouldn't let you back in after you tried to conjure demons in your own apartment, where you try to conjure demons and take pictures of shadows, and then you have the nerve to wonder why your girlfriend left you a couple of years ago. You know what? Maybe Larna did not actually die. Maybe that's something that you made up. You know, like Burger Boy faked his father's death to try to make people feel sorry for him. Maybe she just left you because you're a creep and a weirdo. Maybe Larna left Rick Perry and she's still alive, and she decided that she just wanted to leave Rick Perry, and he just faked the whole thing about her dying to make people feel sorry for him. Maybe that is what is actually going on. Let's see here. Interdimensional Lizard says, hard man. Goat Corp says, rough week, bro. I feel for you, spurious even. LOL. Ghost of Niccolo says, fool me once, shame on me. Yeah, and I was fooled. I will admit, I was fooled quite a few times. But, however, fool me twice. Shame on you, buddy. Do snakes even really make oil? Wasn't it a con? Yeah, snakes do not produce oil, Ghost of Niccolo. That's actually correct. Snakes do not make oil. That was the whole thing about the snake oil salesmen. That's why they were known as snake oil salesmen, because they lied. You know, they lied all the time. Let's see here. I'm trying to catch up to comments. Let's see here. Thank you, Goat Corpse. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times. Fool me again, I done been fooled. There you go. Yeah, Rick Perry, you're just a fake scandalous grifter, and you're a clout chaser. You're just exactly like Drunken Surfer with your religion. Your Roman Catholicism goes just as far as Drunken Surfer's Church of Christ, and just as far as Mormon Shaggy's Mormonism. Okay? Your Roman Catholicism, Rick Perry, just goes about as far as Shaggy's Mormonism and Drunken Surfer's Church of Christ. All it is that you're just an internet personality and you grift. You sell pornography on Instagram. That's how you make your money. You're just a grifter. They should be called Dark Didla salesmen now. Well, I mean, I don't see any barriers of anyone under the age of 18 being able to see Rick Perry's almost entirely naked body. Like, there's no age barriers that have been put up on that, but that's all that I can say. Like, I can't accuse him of anything else. There you go, dude. That's a perfect example of this Orwellian doublethink that I'm trying to demonstrate. You see, this is why I don't take this person seriously. This guy is a fake. He is a phony. He's telling you right there that he's a holy Catholic apostolic prostitute. He actually thinks that that's funny to say. Okay, you see, he's basically a jacked Catholic. Just as Shaggy is a jacked Mormon, Rick Perry is a jacked Catholic. And Jeem is a jacked Orthodox. These people are grifters. They are absolute grifters, and they're scandalous fakes. They're phonies. Yes, you exactly is what you are. You're a Novus Ordo Catholic. You're a post-1965 Novus Ordo Catholic. I would agree. If that's what you're saying, that is what you are, I would agree with you. Goat Corp says, LOL, Ghost. I thought it was Drunken Bumpy now. Oh, my mistake. My mistake, dude. Yes, he's a jacked Catholic. Just as Mormon Shaggy is a jacked Mormon and a fake Mormon, Rick Perry is a jacked Catholic and Jeem is a jacked Orthodox. We already know that, Rick Perry. You don't have to elaborate. Everybody knows and sees it, okay? Let's see here. 3rd4 the second says, "Hello, good sir. Hey, how are you doing, 3-4? How do those two really go together? What the fuck?" Yeah, so Rick Perry's a fake grifter. All that I just really wanted to come on here and say and just really wanted to rant is that Jeem Apologetics and Rick Perry are grifters and clout chasers. They're not out here to win souls for Christ. Rick Perry is not out here to try to win souls for Jesus Christ. He doesn't care about the church or anything about what the church has done for the last 2,000 years. He's a grifter. He is a prostitute, a grifter, and a clout chaser. 100% absolutely. Same thing with Jeem Apologetics. Same thing with Southern Israelite and Jay Dyer. They're just Southern Israelite and Jay Dyer are just better at grifting than Jeem and Rick Perry are in general. Let's see here. How was the stream last night? 3-4. I was in Sam bed. Yeah, same here. I missed 3-4's stream. Well, I think you're envious of Jay Dyer, Rick Perry. I think you're envious of the clout that Reformed Stoic has. I think you're envious of the clout that Baked Alaska has. I think you're jealous of even the clout that Goo Cheese has. And that's what you want to strive to be. That's why you wanted to go back on that IP2. That's why you strive to get back on IP2, because you love that kind of attention. You are a sinful individual. You chase sin and you love and worship and adulate sin, and you want the attention of other sinners and people that are damned into the lake of fire. And that's exactly where you're going to go, Rick Perry, if you do not repent and ask for forgiveness of your sins. And don't even get me started about this Westboro Baptist stuff, dude. Get over yourself. You're a grifter, Rick Perry. You're a grifter and a clout chaser. You are not interested in winning souls over to Christ. You're just interested in getting attention. It's really that simple. Jeem Apologetics is likewise not even trying to convince people about how true orthodoxy is. Jim is just somebody that is on the internet. A random personality and a random lay person who simply wants to chase after clout and get on that gravy, that grifter gravy train that Jay Dyer is on, that Southern Israelite is on. Jeem wants to be an intellectual. He wants to write books, fake intellectual armchair books, and he wants to get on that gravy train. He wants to get on that gravy train, and Rick Perry, you want to as well. You want to get on that attention-seeking, grift-chasing, clout-chasing, grifter gravy train. Ghost of Niccolo says that this is off topic, but Zelensky got kicked out of the White House by Trump. Well, good riddance. I'm not sure if you know this, Niccolo, but Zelensky is, he has a large nose and he wears a small hat. Just do your own bit of research and you'll find out what I mean, but Zelensky is not ethnically Ukrainian. Zelensky is not actually Ukrainian, and he's just leading Ukrainians to a meaningless death. Kind of like how Putin has overreached his own powers and has abused his own powers as head of state and has sent millions or unnecessarily thousands of Russians into their deaths. It's just, dude, it's just a repetition of the First World War. It's really sad in a way, actually. It's not too much different from our Civil War, and it's just Slavs killing other Slavs for the globalists, but Yeah, Trump is getting to be pretty based. I think Trump has learned a lot of lessons from his kind of libertarian first administration. He's finally developed into a paleocon, and him and Elon Musk are gradually becoming something of paleocons. Instead of being paleo libertarians, they're being paleo conservatives, and they're actually starting to be based in a way. I know that Trump is still, serving the interests of the 1%, and he doesn't really care for the average American blue collar, but it's still, it's still better than Joe Biden, at least. Rick Perry says, dude, you don't make your money honestly. You see what I mean, guys? This is what I mean. Rick Perry is not a Roman Catholic. He's a clout chaser and he's a grifter. He's just online for his own aggrandizement and his own personal gratification and the gratification of his own lust and the lust of his own flesh. Rick Perry is after the gratification and egotism and is just basically trying to seek a high dopamine trip. Rick Perry is more concerned about dopamine, about his high dopamine trip, and about self-gratification and arousal and sexual arousal and pleasure than he is about theology and religion. Such a scandalous individual, absolute scandalous. I would guarantee you that Rick Perry has dreams of having sex with Drake Shelton, Jeem, Reformed Stoic, Dyer, myself, and a few other people from IP2. I guarantee you that Rick Perry has dreams of many men just plugging him every night that he's asleep. That's what kind of a sick, twisted individual, demonically possessed, satanic individual that he is. Goat Corp says a reporter was shitting on Zelensky for not wearing a suit. That was pretty based. Yeah, why would you go to the White House? Why would you go to the presidential White House and not even wear a suit and tie? Even Godwinson would wear a suit and tie if he was going to the White House, or to Whitehall since he's from Britain, but I digress. Rick Perry says that there are plenty of Catholic pros. What are you talking about, Willis? Well, you just made even more typos. You were asking me earlier for a citation. Here's the citation right here. I know that you're going to deny it, but you just made a bunch of misspelled typos right now. You're just basically copying like random movie lines from some bygone era of the 1940s. You're just misquoting and misphrasing like movie lines. That's pretty freaking stupid, if you ask me, and gay. Think that my success causes Warhammer to feel inadequate. Whatever helps you get to sleep, buddy. Whatever it is that helps you get to sleep, believe it. I'm not here to change your mind. Goat Corp says, TBF twins, let's go. Goo Cheese is the peak of female beauty. Goo Cheese is a crackhead. She is a homeless crackhead that lives with a bunch of single men that are fat, out of shape, drug addicts, and even in one case, a twink. Even a twink in a trailer park. And they're always getting in trouble and getting arrested. And you're going to actually hold that as the standard of female quality, Goat Corpse? What about a woman that actually stays at home and is married and has like 3 kids, keeps the house tidy, cleans the place up, and gives food to the family? You know, what about the nuclear family as the ideal type, Goat Corpse, instead of like some kind of crackhead, homeless crackhead on the streets of LA? Ghost of Niccolo says that Trump put his mugshot outside the Oval Office so everyone that enters has to walk past it. LOL. Based, based, and red pilled, based and Chad pilled, buddy. Gucci, Rick Perry says that Gucci's is a reformed woman, a housewife for AK for some time now. I kind of doubt that. If that's true, they'll divorce. I doubt that, Rick Perry. I have my strong doubts. My intuition tells me that you're probably making that up. Code of Truth says, what ya talking 'bout Willis is from a show called Different Strokes, an African-American show known for its woke propaganda. I find it funny how Rick Perry says that I shouldn't get into politics, yet here he is engaging with the left. Rick Perry is 100% a leftoid. He is 100% on the side of the far left, just like his buddy Pariah the Doll, who is another fake Catholic grifter. Pariah the Doll is another fake Catholic grifter and clout chaser on the internet that Rick Perry seeks to try to model himself after and is far less successful at doing it and just looks like a total ass pull. But that's just my thoughts. Your IP2 lore has been found to be lacking. I don't care. It's like what I said at the very start of the stream. I don't give a shit. I don't care. That's my thoughts. They could be right. They could be wrong. Those are my thoughts about Gucci's. I think she's a homeless, pettyless crackhead that needs to put on some weight. She looks like an anorexic crackhead. Goat Corp says, is Different Strokes the one where the mom is named Florida? Could you imagine having a forename like that? I love that. No, my B, that's good times. Rick Perry says that Mr. Drummond was a good guy. Willis was a real wife. Tear away. Well, Gucci's is very far removed from Willis. I'm going to go downstairs and get me a Coke right fast. So I'm going to turn the light on. You'll be able to see the floor, and I'm just going to walk down and grab me something to drink. My mouth is dry. But yeah, I don't think that Southern Israelite is a real Protestant. I think that his entire purpose is just being a grifter and a clout chaser. I do not think that Rick Perry is a real devout Catholic. I think he's just a grifter and a clout chaser. I don't consider Reformed Stoic to be a real actual Catholic. He's just a grifter and a clout chaser. Likewise, I do not consider Dyer to be a real actual Orthodox. He's just a clout chaser and a grifter, 100% absolutely all the way. Jeem Apologetics, likewise, is not really an Orthodox person. None of Jeem's videos shows any kind of good quality of a morally integral individual whatsoever. Jeem is just a clout chaser and a grifter and a complete fake. Jeem Apologetics is not Orthodox. He's a grift chaser, and he's a clout chaser and a grifter that wants to get on that Dyer gravy train, and that Southern Israelite gravy train. It's complete fake. These people are online personalities, and they're complete fakes. I could smell it a mile away. I'm kind of like, I got a nose for this kind of stuff. I can just sniff, and I can smell out crappy-ass people. Fake-ass wannabe mofos that think that they got something and they don't. I can sniff that out miles and miles away, buddy. Don Plato hit the skids hard. Sebastian said, I was told that DS had a bit of a PDF file content also, Comrade Stalin. I remember the show when it came out, but I did not watch it much. Mr. Drummond was not innocent, Rick Perry. That is a lie. Mr. Drummond was not an innocent individual. Goat Corp says, lol, Rick. Sebastian says, Rick, was it in the show, out of the show, or both? Goat Corp says, I was always more of a Charles in charge guy. Scott Baio is as dark as I like my actors. Well, shit, dog. Shit, man. Oh, yeah, and what's up, Krill? What's up, Krill? Good to see you. Let's see here. I didn't know. Let's see here. We got 3-4. We got Creel. Let's see here. Rick Perry making a complete ass of himself, as always. Enlightenment philosophy begins with epistemology, but you don't have one. I can't see the comment. Neither do you have a metaphysic or basic ontology. You are a lost boy. Mentally shattered. You say that, but you put a picture of your butt up in front of a photo of the Sistine Chapel. You post pictures of a woman that's dead, and you try to pretend that you can somehow reach out and talk to them after death, okay? You try to engage in psychic afterlife interactions with Larna, a person who you claim that you can talk to after they had passed away. And then you try to tell me that my mind has been shattered. You got banned on IP2 for showing pornography, for showing your own nudes on IP2. And then for 2 years, you begged a mod to get back on IP2. And you're telling me that my mind has been shattered. You sold your life out to the establishment. You bought into the woke agenda. And then you try to say that you're still a traditional Catholic, and yet you support everything that the left-wing high-tech establishment has. And then you tell me that I'm the one whose mind has been shattered. This is how I know, Rick Perry, that you are just trying to be a grifter. If you could make money selling your stuff on the internet, you would totally do it. Prove that I'm wrong. Prove me wrong. If you could sell your stuff, if you could sell your soul to the devil, Rick Perry, and be absolutely as successful as a grifter as Dyer, though probably maybe not for religion, but for something else, you would do it. You would absolutely do that. You're a grifter, Rick Perry. You're a fake charlatan. The word here is perhaps not snake oil salesman, but it's charlatan. And you're a charlatan of a Catholic. Just like Dyer is a charlatan of an Orthodox, and Southern Israelite is a charlatan of a Protestant. You guys are fake phonies. And yet you're actually going to try to condemn moi? Condemn moi for holding a different viewpoint on religion? You really are quite something else, buddy. Yeah, you see there, he's a grifter. You see, he tried to get Reformed Stoic to sell a percentage of his donos. Rick Perry is a total ass grifter. Fake, phony grifter. Oh, they came to me on IP2. Yeah, you totally didn't spurg out when you got banned on IP2. And you totally did not beg to try to get back there. Yeah, that was just me making that up. Come on, man. You're a fucking fake charlatan and grifter. Every one of you online internet preachers or theologian people are all a bunch of intellectual armchair intellectual fakes. Every bit of you guys are grifters. I'm never taking religious advice from an online random nobody ever again. Okay, I am never going to be taking any more theological lessons from an online random nobody. And the point that I want to try to get on here is that you people that are watching, please take my advice. Do not ever listen to a random online internet nobody grifter like Dyer and take his advice on religion. If you want to learn something about religion, like go to Cambridge, go to Oxford University, and find a series of lectures with like somebody that actually has a degree. Someone that has a PhD or a degree in theology or religion, or like a cleric or somebody in your life that you can talk to about religion. Don't go to Dyer. Don't go to Drake Shelton. Don't go to Reformed Stoic or Jake Shields. Don't go to Jeem. And don't go to Rick Perry, especially Rick Perry. He's a fake charlatan. He's a snake oil salesman, and he's just selling you his theological, pornographic, Catholic snake oil. These people are charlatans and liars. They're grifters, dude. Rick Perry is a wannabe grifter. Rick Perry is a wannabe charlatan snake oil salesman. He is a fake. Okay, he is a phony and an absolute fake Catholic. There's not an inch of Rick Perry that is legitimately Roman Catholic. It's all fake. It's a fake grift that they do, and it sucks, man. It's a grift. The Muffin Man says, Forge Gang. Interdimensional Lizard says, Hard Man. What's up, the morning sun? What's up, man? How are you doing? Yeah, how are you doing, morning sun? Let's see here. Interdimensional Lizard says, Mr. Perry has sent his defenders in again. Yeah, well, I'm about to go outside and have me a vape. Sebastian Moran says, more satanic. Well, Rick Perry has said that he's practiced black magic. Rick Perry has told me about his practices and dabbling in the occult and black magic. In fact, the book on the occult that I got was at his own discretion. Rick Perry suggested to me to buy a book on the occult. You would think that being Catholic, Rick Perry would tell me or suggest to me books to read to, I don't know, try to encourage me about Catholic faithfulness, to have a wholesome Catholic faithful life, a Catholic apostolic life, but no. The only recommendations that he gave me were Mormon, Jehovah's Witness, and occult books. He never even recommended a single Roman Catholic book to me, ever. The deacon that I talked to at this one church I went to one time, he gave me more suggestions about Catholicism than Rick Perry has ever done. And I've known Rick Perry since I've known most of you. I have known Rick Perry since 2020. and he has never once suggested me to read a Roman Catholic book. Not even one. But he's given me all these examples of Jehovah's Witnesses books, books from Charles Taze Russell, several Latter-day Saints books by Joseph Smith and Brigham Young. He's even given me like stuff about Aleister Crowley and some books on the occult. But you know how many books on living a solid Catholic monastic life Rick Perry has recommended? You want to know how many Chevalier and Jacobite books that Rick Perry has seriously recommended to me? Zero. Absolute zero. Possible want payment for that sounds like AC, Book of the L. Forge Gang! I am still a hard man! Code of Truth says that Warhammer has endured 5 years of satanic ritual abuse by the hands of Rick Perry, the MI6 Monarch program PSYOP agent. Well, Rick Perry never said that he left regular Freemasonry. Rick Perry just said that in 2007 he left irregular Freemasonry. He never said all Freemasonry. Ghost of Niccolo says, Heart Man! So I just wanted to get out that Rick Perry is not a Roman Catholic. There's nothing Roman Catholic about him. He is a snake oil salesman, a wannabe grifter, and a fake Christian. Jeem Apologetics is not Eastern Orthodox. He's a grifter and a snake oil salesman. Dyer, I guess you could say that Dyer does have some good points, so I'll take back a little bit on Dyer. He does have some good points that he does make, and he is probably the most serious of the bunch that I have been discussing. So Dyer does make some good points, but I mean, he changes his mind a lot. Like, Vatican Catholic made a video about Dyer, and he showed how Dyer flip-flops and changes his mind. Maybe Dyer has improved and gotten better as a debater. In that regard, maybe Dyer has improved a bit and gotten more knowledge, gained more knowledge. But I don't think that he's absolutely serious or really dedicated to living an actual Orthodox life. I think he's a grifter and a clout chaser and a fake Christian. Southern Israelite is definitely a fake Christian and a grifter, a wannabe clout chaser, a grifter, and a fake Protestant. There's nothing Protestant about Drake Shelton. And yeah, that's pretty much all I really had to say. And Rick Perry has accused me of not having an ontology. My ontology, I'm not going to get into it. I don't have to tell you anything about what my philosophical views of the world are. I'm not an empiricist. I do find Julius Evola very interesting. I do find Oswald Spengler very interesting. And I do like stuff that Hegel has written. And I don't like John Locke. I do like George Fitzhugh. And I find it absolutely funny that you say that I lack any philosophy when I was the one that introduced you to George Fitzhugh, Rick the lying fairy boy bitch. I actually introduced you to George Fitzhugh. So I don't need to explain nothing. I don't have to apologize or explain nothing about who I am and what I believe. But I definitely am not going to be taking any kind of lessons from Rick Perry or from Jeem. Jeem, you're a liar and a dipshit. And Rick Perry, you're a liar and a piece of shit too. I'm never taking any advice from any of you guys. You are snake oil salesmen. 100%. Interdimensional Lizard says that Rick Perry is as much a Catholic as Sonic is anime. Sonic is a video game character. Sonic the Hedgehog is a video game character. I mean, when were Final Fantasy characters like considered to be anime? You know, when was like Final Fantasy characters in anime? Like, even Final Fantasy is not an anime, it's a video game. You know, it's just I never really understood why people are confused about that. I find this slander particularly upsetting. Well, you're not even a bad Catholic, you're not even actually a Catholic. Fitzhugh is not a philosopher, he is a historian. He was a sociologist, Rick Perry. He was a sociologist. But you wanted to know what some of my ontological viewpoints were. I like Gregor Strauser, and I like Oswald Spengler and Julius Evola. I'm also into Plato. I don't know. Aristotle might be better than Plato, but I do have a sound worldview. The reason why I haven't been able to have a coherent worldview is because you've lied so much. I've put up with a bunch of liars and a bunch of snake oil salesmen and scandalous individuals that have lied and made up a bunch of false bullshit to me. So that's what messed up my coherent worldview. If I had not taken such bad advice from fake individuals on the internet, I would have had a much more healthier mindset from the beginning. So anyways, yeah, I am your host, Imperator of Forge. I'm done. I'm going to go out and vape now. Thank y'all for watching.